4.5 billion years ago, a bunch of dust came together and we got Earth. About 3.7 billion years ago, a lot of ugly fellas appeared called prokaryotes, and that was the beginning of life. A couple billion years later, we got some more ugly but not so little guys in the Cambrian explosion. Today, a lot of the Earth looks something like this, with a lot of plants, animals, and other forms of life. The question is, how did life spread and become so diverse? We have to go back 200 years to Cambridge, England, where there was a British dude studying to be a clergyman. His name was Charles Darwin, and he would proceed to become one of the most famous scientists of all time. The story goes that he scored very high on a test for his Bachelor of Arts, and then said, "Screw this, I love nature," and hopped on a boat to hug trees around the world. None of what I just said about tree hugging was true, except the part about going on a boat and traveling the world. On his trip, Darwin observed the natural phenomenon around him, looking at animal characteristics and behavior. Based off of these observations, he developed the theory of evolution. I'd love to talk about what Darwin said, but his book on evolution is 500 pages of British, so instead I'll look at how Ernst Mayr, a German-American biologist, summarized Darwin's ideas. Mayr summarized evolution through 5 observations that lead to 3 inferences about nature. The first observation is sometimes called overpopulation. This notices that many populations produce more offspring in the next generation than they began with. What that means is that in theory, population sizes should increase exponentially every generation. Observation 2 challenges this. Observation 2 notices across longer periods of time, populations tend to be stable in their size. Before we get to the first inference, we have observation 3, which is that the resources in the environments are limited. Based off of these 3 observations, overpopulation, steady population sizes, and limited resources, we get to the first inference, which is called the struggle for existence. This means that individuals in an environment struggle for existence because there is a limited amount of resources. What this leads to is that only a fraction of offspring can survive until the next generation to reproduce. Observation 4 is sometimes called natural variation, which means that in populations, there are many different kinds of characteristics between the different individuals. Observation 5 notices that these characteristics, these variations, are heritable. Parents can pass on their characteristics onto their children. Combining these 5 observations, we come to inference 2, which says that because individuals have varied characteristics, some will have characteristics that make them better suited to survive in the environment. This means that some individuals have a better chance of surviving and leaving their children. This inference is also known as natural selection. Inference 3 is also known as descent with modification. It says that adaptations will accumulate in populations over time. If a population undergoes a significant enough amount of characteristic change, a new species may form. By learning about these 5 observations and 3 inferences, you might be able to get an idea of how we got from ugly prokaryotes to the beautiful Earth we have today.